Number 5. Eleanor Bonneville from Jigsaw. We have 2 Jigsaw characters in the top 9. That's saying something. But having said that, the Eleanor Bonneville character is a very fascinating one at most. She only has, if you really go back and watch, she only has 8 minutes of screen time in total in the entire film. But I'll tell you what, Hannah Emily Anderson makes the most out of those 8 minutes. Granted, she is given 1 or 2 cornball lines, but at the end of the day, this is a character that the franchise has been striving for, an actual Jigsaw fan. Think about it, we have had 7 previous Saw films, and we truly yet to have someone who completely understands Jigsaw up to this amount of extreme. And the fact that it's a character from the newer films, which causes a reflection of what Jigsaw meant 10 years later, is still fascinating. I mean, we got the incorporation of the Jigsaw Rules fan site. We got the fact that she is an admirer of his works and his traps. And we got the fact that she is still willing to do her job as a pathologist, but at the same time is still willing to figure out what all is going on and who's behind these investigations. But at the same time, she's one of those characters where it depends on what directions they take with her in the sequels. She can go either way. She can look to become a follower of Jigsaw. She can look to finally understand all of his motivations and his meanings. Or she can be a character that just straight up wants to be complete follower of Jigsaw and maybe down the lines potentially carry out his Jigsaw reign. The series is not even over yet, and I just adored this character.
I feel like one of the reasons that she's so far up this list is because I pushed for her. But I agree with you. One of the reasons that she is so fascinating as a character is because she literally opens the door for a broader universe of the Saw content. I've talked about it on this channel before, how the inclusion of Jigsaw Rules as a website with everything else going on, and with Spiral being somewhat of a spin-off but still kind of a continuation of the first 8 movies, there is a potential here to go back and recreate the Saw franchise into a bit of an extended universe. Maybe television, more movies, maybe the next couple movies will be spin-offs where Jigsaw becomes kind of the unofficial beginning of this new iteration of the Saw franchise, where it's Jigsaw, Spiral, and then whatever they want to do going forward. That's to say, maybe Spiral is probably a one-off. Who knows if that's true. But Eleanor is the beginning of that, and she's the promise of it. I think one of the reasons her character is so interesting is because most of the things that we've seen throughout the entire franchise, in fact, one of the things that fans and non-fans alike really hate about the franchise, is that no matter who is doing the traps or what exactly is going on, everybody has a tie to John. Not just as a fan, not just as a follower of his methods, but people who legitimately interacted with him, understand him as a person, and could potentially bring Tobin Bell back in one flashback or another. For me, Eleanor is a character that kind of transcends that. You don't know where her head is at with all of these things. Is she sane? Is she a little bit insane? How would she interact with all the other disciples and apprentices going into the future of the franchise is something really interesting and worth exploring. But at the same time, she is the epitome of what John wanted. Somebody who understands his methods but doesn't have to go out of her way to potentially kill people or do anything else like that. What we understand from her character in those 8 minutes is that she worked her ass off to be in that specific precinct helping out because it's close to where all of these things happen. Maybe there's more there and I would really like to see it, but knowing that she has this hobby and that she's doing the best with her life and is somewhat content with everything going on, probably the only character in the entire franchise who's content with everything going on in her life, it kind of echoes in a way that would suggest that she is definitely what John was looking for. Somebody to realize that people don't appreciate their lives and they need to look at it in a different way, but they don't have to go out of their way to kill everyone that they meet or put people through traps in order to justify their own existence or the way they look at the world. To me, that's really interesting and why I feel like she deserves to be this high on the list. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this entry in SAW-Tober. Make sure to come back tomorrow and every day up until October 30th, where we're going to be counting down the 9 best Saw characters from the entire franchise. Also, make sure to go down to the description section below, hit that link, and go over to Jacob's channel, where you can see the corresponding worst list that we're putting on over there. SAW-Tober this year is twice the fun, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's been real.